Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Coding with Esther. So in this video, we're going to be continuing from where we stopped in our last video in creating servlets. In this video, we're going to learn how to navigate from one page to the other. We already created servlets, but we've not created created the way to be able to navigate from one page to the other. We need to call those servlets in our nav bar to be able to work with the navigation. So before I continue, let me just give a proper introduction of myself. So my name is Esther Iyege. I am a software engineer by profession and also a programming tutor. I take programming lessons and all. And welcome again to my channel. In this channel, you would get to know things about programming and all. So without further ado, let's go into what we have for today's video. So our goal today is to be able to navigate from one page to the other. As you can see, we are not navigating, and if you want to, one of the main reasons is, as you can see, we still have shop.html. And remember, in the last video, we converted all our pages to JSP pages. So how are we going to go about this now? So the first thing I'll advise you do is, if you whatsoever website you created, is just to inspect to know where the nav bar is located, because I want to just create one nav bar and be able to work with that nav bar throughout my whole page, my whole website. Work with that nav, I want that nav bar to remain constant no matter the page I may be in. So I'm just going to call in my inspector, and the reason why I'm doing this is I just want to know the environment where my nav bar is, so that I won't have to waste time trying to trace it in my code. So as you can see, the nav bar is a main nav here. So I'll just go back to our project. This was our web project we were working with. So we created our servlets in the last class in the com.logx folder. Okay, so moving to our index.jsp page, I can find the main nav. All I did was Ctrl F to find, to save my time. So if I do something like main nav, you can see I already got my the main nav created. Now there's something JSP gives us the opportunity to do when working with JSP pages. You have this tag called include, the JSP tag that makes it possible for you to include codes in another. Now why I'm talking about this code is because I want to just fix the servlets for one nav bar and just copy that nav bar to other pages without having to repeat myself, and I'm given the ability to achieve this with in JSP easily. I think other languages give you the opportunity. In PHP is also called include, but that's the major one I've seen. In PHP is called include, in but here too is also include. So if you maybe new PHP before now, maybe you understand. But that's, by the way, we are talking about JSP here, not PHP. Maybe in the future we'll have a video related to PHP. Let me not talk too much. So let's go in. So you can see now we have our main nav. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to collapse the part where we have the main nav. But before I collapse it, this is what I'm going to do. Remember, when creating our servlet, we specified the URL pattern for each and every page. If you've forgotten the URL pattern, you can always come to your configuration files and check your web.xml. You'll be able to see the servlet mapping and the URL. So for my index page, I have index, products, I have products and all. Now these are the patterns I'm going to be calling. I'm going to be calling this URL pattern in my navbar pages, like in where I have my navbar. I'm going to be calling that instead of just saying index.html and all. So at this point, I'll call index. For the shop too, I'll call shop. Details, let's see. I think I can't remember what I gave the URL for details. So I gave product details. Okay, I gave it the URL pattern of product. So for product details, the URL pattern is product. So moving back to the let me just be very sure it's just product and not product. Yep, so that's it. We have for contact, I believe that should be contact. We don't have a sign in page yet, but I'll create a sign in later on in this video. So now we've been able to rename it here. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have a kind of a partial folder, or a kind of a, basically, like, I'm going to have a folder where I'm going to put things that I just want to include. Now it's not just for nav, but take for instance, you want something to, you want some codes to remain constant, say your footer, your headers, anything related to that. You can always do do the same thing I'm going to do now for each and every of those pages. So like I said, I'll collapse the nav bar. I'll copy this code, 19 lines of code. Now for your templates, if you're working with a template, it could be something else, but with this template I have 19 lines collapsed. I'll go to my product. I'll go to my project. So in my web.xml, I'm going to create a new folder. I'll call it partials, because I'll call it partials. Then in the partials folder, I'm going to create a new file, JSP file for sure, because it's a JSP page. I'm going to call the JSP file. I'm going to call it navbar.jsp. No, .jsp. Remember, it's actually since the JSP page, we already have the tag.jsp beside, so that is the correction. So navbar.jsp. Now I'm going to delete Ctrl on everything here and delete it, because I'm not going to be reading any of those codes. Then I'll paste what we have here. So when I've done this, so after doing this, that's all we need to do. All I need to do now is just call this navbar page in any page I want to make use of the index file. So for my index, I'll come here, I'll just delete this line of code because we'll not be needing it anymore, and I'll open my curly brackets, and yes, we already have the JSP tag already shown to us. So I'm going to say file is equal to, and I'm going to be selecting the file path for my partials. So I can decide to, I'll say partials /. Take note, I'm not just working out of the blues, it's the folder path I'm trying to go into. Partials / navbar.jsp. So let me just test it out to see if it works out well. It works well. If it works well, you'll be able to see the navbar. Let's run this project. Okay, now we're on our index page and there's no problem at all. So yes, we got it, we're on track. We have our navbar showing, that means we're on track. We have everything working fine and good. Yeah, beautiful. But you see that if I tried that on the shop, because I've not been able to fix that, you know, the navbar looks like, oh, it's the same, but in every page is totally different. So the navbar on my shop page is different from that on the index page. So on my shop.jsp, I would still look for the shop nav, but before then, to save my time, I'm just going to copy that line of code on this part, and I'll go to my shop.jsp. I'll go to my shop.jsp and I'm going to copy the part I have. So I'm going to search for the navbar, and this is the main nav. I'll collapse it and delete it and just paste the code I had before. I'm going to save, Ctrl S on the page, and do that for every other page. Search for the nav, minimize, paste. So at this point, I believe if this code is actually new to you, then that's because you need to still have knowledge, because these are just p tags, like they are important, they are tags that come with JSP. Okay, back to where we stopped. I said that we have our partials folder here. We're going to have the partials here. So when we have the partials here, we're going to repeat the same thing for every other page. We're going to repeat the same thing for every other page. So I think contact search for the nav, minimize, and paste. I think that's all. With that, we've been able to create servlets for each and every page. That's just all that is required to create servlets for. So we've added them for each and every page. So let's test to see if our site runs properly. I just need to run it, then just restart, reload the page, the project. So now you will notice that no matter the page I am in, I'll be able to navigate to any of the pages. And you can see at this point you don't have the .html, you just have product, contact. Now that's because we are working with servlets, but the servlets are responsible for managing this request. We created servlets to be able to manage the request. So congratulations if you watched to this point in time. We've successfully created servlets for this web page. So till then, see you in the next video.